Hello, my name is Nicole, and I'm a student at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably visiting the Museum of Natural History here on campus. This podcast will be about the L2 carnivores display on the third floor of the museum. More specifically, I'll be talking about early dogs and their domestication into the modern dog. At first glance, you can see that this display contains a model of an early gray wolf. Did you know that wolves were the animals which domestic dogs evolved from? Needless to say, the similarities between the gray wolf and the domestic dog are numerous. If you examine the body structure of a wolf, including its muzzle, ears, tail, and legs, you'll realize that the wolf looks just like a larger, more aggressive version of a household dog. But most of us know from stories and nature shows on television that wolves are aggressive feral hunters of the wild. So how on earth did these wild carnivores ever evolve into the docile, playful companions that we now refer to as man's best friend? Good question. Well, let's figure out together how the dog evolved from the gray wolf. To start, it should be explained what exactly domestication is. Domestication is the process in which a population of animals or plants, through a process of selection, becomes accustomed to human provision and control. So when we say that an animal is domesticated, it means that they live, interact, and eat comfortably with humans. Hamsters, cats, and horses are other examples of domesticated animals. So where did this domestication of the dog take place? Unfortunately, there is no clear-cut answer. Throughout the past decade, this topic has been under wide debate from research communities around the world. However, there's a general consensus that the domestication of the dog took place somewhere in the Eastern Hemisphere around 10 to 15,000 years ago. How, then, did the dog get close to humans and eventually domesticate, you may ask? While there is also some debate on this topic, it has been understood by many that the dog became a human companion on its own accord. And by that, I mean the dog chose the human. Many believe that humans didn't voluntarily pick wolves to be their companions, but through gradual human encounters, wolves eventually decided to stay along humans and use them as an easy source of food, protection, and shelter. Some hypothesize that wolves would hang around the outskirts of early human settlements where humans often discarded scraps of garbage from hunting and gathering food. The bravest wolves would take scraps from the outskirts of these environments, finding it an easy way to nourish themselves, as opposed to the dangers of hunting. Eventually, the humans of these settlements became accustomed to the scavengers, and over some time, a few courageous humans may have hand-fed the wolves or tried to interact with them. This gradual socialization of wolves eventually led to the domestication and evolution of the dog. Okay, so now we know how the dog domesticated. But how exactly did the gray wolf produce over 300 dog breeds? Well, it is understood that once these dogs were domesticated, humans would breed dogs based on the type of companion they needed. If they were, for example, a hunter, they would breed retrievers. If they were a farmer, they may breed herding dogs, and etc. Overall, the evolution and domestication of the dog from the wolf was an early phenomenon that has benefited modern-day society in a variety of ways. Dogs are not just used for hunting or herding anymore, they're also used in the military and police forces, trained to assist the blind, and are used as stress relievers for terminally ill patients and the elderly. Dogs have been our closest companions for as long as 15,000 years, and are the most popular household pet in America. Hopefully, you enjoyed learning about the evolution of the dog, and maybe, if your family has a dog, you can go home today and truly appreciate your furry friend's origins. Have a great day at the museum.